Welcome, adventurers! Today we ask the age-old question: what happens when a bunch of overpowered max-level D&D characters, built with love, loot, and the occasional dash of min-maxing, throw down in an epic fantasy battle royale? Obviously I'm going to be answering that question. I have gathered all of the characters that have reached max level in our D&D games and placed them against each other via randomized matchups in an intense tournament bracket. And after some careful consideration, I determined who would claim victory each time. Some of these matchups were pretty crazy, so buckle up. This is the Contest of Champions. So go ahead and grab a glass of wine, I already have, and let's get into it. So, who actually qualifies? So, only characters that have reached tier 6 in the game and were alive at the beginning of the Conquest games were able to qualify. The contestants were scaled back to their non-god and non-demigod form, so only mortals here. And this has left us with this tournament bracket.
What was that? Okay, James.
Why is Louis an exception? It's simple. If James had not been the sole DM for the Conquest games, Louis would have been a player at tier 6, just like the rest of the horsemen, so I'm including him. Further questions? Too bad, I'm not answering them. Moving on. A total of 24 characters qualified, and yes, I did draw them all. I even gave them cute little weapons. See? Adorable. Now, as far as the actual arena goes, I went with a battleground that was 100 feet. The contestants may move 100 feet into the sky if they have the ability to do so, and the battlefield is just a flat sand coliseum without obstacles. The contestants are only able to win by bringing their foe to 0 HP. Incapacitating foes without bringing them down to 0 is not going to result in the win. So what are the rules? The contestants may not teleport outside of the battlefield. Looking at you, Nick and Echo. Contestants start with only their enabler abilities active. Contestants may start with summon creatures or clones that do not require specific ability actions to summon them. And before we jump in and you all get angry, just remember that this is 100% canon, and if you argue with me, you are arguing with fate and God. With all that boring stuff out of the way, let us begin.
Our first contestant is a wise armored warrior who always offers unsolicited sage advice and surviving battles with both blades and thunderous beasts. He is a knight. He is a padthera. He is Sir Gregory Caracal, the Humble. His opponent is a curse-slinging canine who has a knack for machines and collects creatures in his basement workshop. He is an artificer. He is a dog. He is Cannoli Puppuccino the High Gadric.
So now we have a classic dog versus cat situation, so who's actually going to win? So Greg has a ton of armor and deals some pretty solid damage, but he is really slow and has poor magic resistance, and this can make him pretty vulnerable to Cannoli's debuffs and shapeshifting. Keeping in mind that Cannoli's favorite form to shapeshift into is a literal dragon, which is crazy. So I think with the debuffs weakening Greg's strength and the shapeshifting into a literal dragon, Cannoli can outlast and outmaneuver this kitty cat in a battle of flexibility rather than raw stats. With that being said, I think it's clear Cannoli wins this match due to strategic advantage, not brute force. Woof. Yeah.
For our next fight, the first contestant is an airborne archer whose twisted sense of justice falls heavily upon hated foes and men alike. She is an archer. She is a Sylvain. She is Lilia, the avatar of justice. Her opponent is a man who has lost every son he has ever had to the fires of war, and who allegedly killed a dragon all by himself. He is a knight. He is a dwarf. He is Sir Marcus Ratborn, the unstoppable paragon.
Marcus is undoubtedly a durable and powerful knight, but his low range and the fact that he is so old, literally so old, like whatever the max lifespan is for a dwarf, he's 1 year away from that. Literally rolled death saves in game for just being old, just to see if he dies in his sleep. So all of that being said, that does leave him a bit exposed to Lilia's relentless high initiative assault. She's aerodynamic, she can fly, and has the ability to attack multiple times in a row. This allows her to strike back to back, repeatedly, from a distance, staying out of his melee reach. Despite her pretty low defenses, Lilia's hit-and-run tactics, higher initiative, and ranged pressure let her whittle down Marcus before he can close the gap. Ultimately, this makes Lilia the victor through tactical dominance and superior initiative. Nice. Beat by a salad.
For our next battle, the first contestant is an intrepid investigator who witnessed the downfall of two empires of innovation. He is a gunner. He is a mouseling. He is Balthazar Redwhisker the Verminator. His opponent is a rebel liberator whose hands are stained with the blood of millions of innocents. He is the one who felled the fearsome devil cat. He is a warrior. He is a half-Yeren. He is Wakua, the hammer.
Balthazar has the advantage at range with high distance attacks and decent damage, but his low armor does make him fragile. Wakua, despite having really low mobility, has insane durability, health regeneration, and knockout resistance, allowing him to survive Balthazar's incoming fire. Once Wakua closes the gap, even if he does it slowly, Balthazar has no way to withstand the retaliation. Wakua's raw power and relentless survivability ultimately outlast Balthazar's lighter frame and long-range tactics, leading to Wakua's decisive win. Were we really surprised? Balthi's a literal mouse, guys.
For the next one, the first contestant is an opportunistic mage who commands the maelstrom and killed a demigod with a kiss. He is a wizard. He is a kitsune. He is Nicodemus the Winter Apostate. His opponent was left for dead by her own and scorned by her world. This schizophrenic sniper traversed from realm to realm, dodging the damnation of eldritch gods when she was a mere child. She is a gunner. She is a half-elf. She is Echo Grey, the Stray.
Both Nick and Echo require setup and possess high mobility. Both can teleport, and Nick can fly. While Nick excels at debuffs and powerful ranged defense that can make him seemingly untouchable, it only lasts for 1 minute. And that's honestly the problem. Echo's offensive modifiers last for an hour. With Echo's insane offensive modifiers, she can completely overwhelm Nick before he can fully deploy his defensive tools. He can delay the inevitable for a minute, but he can't survive an hour. In short, Echo hits harder, faster, and once she starts, absolutely nothing can stop her, making her the winner of this round. I mean, every roll she makes gets like a plus 18 for a literal hour. That's insane.
For our next fight, the first contestant is a forlorn prince who wields both truth and desire to shackle the hearts and minds of his prey. By gaze alone, he commands the gods to bear witness to his greatness. He is a warlock. He is a demon. He is Louis Moreau, the Fell Prince. His opponent is a lonesome ranger who trailed the red sands and frigid winds of Rohirrim, hunting down outlaws with his trusty revolver at his hip. He is a gunner. He is a kitsune. He is Dusty, the Red Dust Desperado. Howie.
Both Dusty and Louie are low on defense and mobility. Dusty has some high range, rapid fire, and can deal some serious damage. Louie, however, possesses some guaranteed attacks that bypass both defense and cover, along with debuffs and, oh yeah, the potential to instantly kill with a single glance. So this match doesn't really depend on trading blows. Instead, it depends on who hits first and who hits harder. Louie doesn't miss. He only has to know that you exist in order to hit you. And Dusty doesn't really have the capability to survive a single decisive curse. With the higher initiative, Louie can act before Dusty can even fire his weapon, shutting him down instantly, and crowning him as this round's victor. That kill with the glance is like pretty overpowered, honestly.
For our next fight, the first contestant is a sorceress supreme who hails from the land of mages, commanding magical might and arcane prowess to create clones and move both moons and mountains at her whim. She is a wizard. She is an elf. She is Vexalia Vespio, the Moonmaker. Her opponent is an illusionist who uses arcane trickery to fool and humiliate his foes, and whose smoke and mirrors pave the way to international conflict. He is a wizard. He is an elf. He is Pierre Templeton, the Phantom Revolutionary.
Pierre may be a clever illusionist with some pretty decent defenses, but his low damage output leaves a lot to be desired. Did I say low damage? I meant 0. This man has legitimately 0 attacking moves. Vex, on the other hand, wields an overpowered magic item that grants devastating attacks plus a duplicate of herself, multiplying her threat level. Both are pretty fast and fragile, but Vex's raw firepower and clone outpace Pierre's trickery. His illusions can't stall forever against a mage that can literally move mountains. So, this leaves Vex as the victor of this round. What did we really expect? Like, he has no attacking moves, honestly.
For our next fight, the first contestant is a woman who washes the wounded in radiant mending light, and when beckoned with divinity, she chose to remain and aid the struggles of mankind. She is a healer. She is a Newman. She is Charity Angelum, the Sapphire Sate. Her opponent is a giant of a man whose gentle heart is betrayed by bestial rage. He faced the terrible arcane powers that plagued the realms as well as his home. He is a berserker. He is a human. He is John Gray, the Woodsman.
Charity is a powerful healer and summoner. She is capable of both debuffing foes and supporting allies, but she does lack offensive power, defense, and mobility. John, in contrast, is an absolute powerhouse. He is a multi-attacking werebear with high health, high mobility, and an insane damage output. Even if Charity could debuff him... yeah, he's a werebear. John wins this match because a dainty healer is no match for a literal bear. Come on.
For our next fight, the first contestant is a vagabond who fights with fist, claw, and fang, vanquishing fell beasts on the battlefield and opponents in games of card with tricks up his sleeves. He is a fighter. He is a Panthera. He is Striker Serval, the ace in the hole. His opponent is a curse-laden woman whose decaying touch brings the ire of those around her. This conjurer wields both divine and demonic force to crush any obstacle in her way. She is a warlock. She is a half-elf. She is Lyrica Navarro, the Pact Queen.
Ace is a powerful shapeshifter and damage dealer. However, his low mobility and armor leave him a bit vulnerable to sustained magical pressure. While Lyrica is fragile, she brings some overpowered summons, self-healing, and debuffs. It also doesn't help that Ace is a melee fighter, and anything that touches Lyrica literally decays. So, by wearing Ace down with summons, debuffs, and decay, as well as keeping herself up through healing, Lyrica is able to claim victory. But let's be real, I'm sure her summon Lottie did all of the work.
For our next fight, the first contestant is a rogue who shoots a ballista from a great distance, sending both towering foes and enemy fortresses crashing down. Her heroic deeds in battle inspired a fallen people to rise against their oppressors. She is an archer. She is a half-elf. She is Merith Aegis, the Skylance. Her opponent is a Spellblade, whose skill with the blade and anti-magic techniques make her the enemy of any mage. Throughout multiple lifetimes, she has faced against the greatest of all Maleficus, Sharmat Adar, and won. She is a wizard. She is an elf. She is Sabrina Amanar, the Queen of Crows.
Sabrina has powerful magic and really strong defenses, but her limited range puts her at a disadvantage against Merith's high mobility and multi-attack archery. Even with Sabrina's anti-magic debuffs, Merith's invisibility and evasiveness let her control the distance, fire from safety, and avoid retaliation. Oh, are you a Sabrina fan? Yeah, Oh no, well, I'm sorry to say, this leaves Marith as the victor of this round. Her invisibility isn't even magic related after all.
For our next fight, the first contestant is a gentle extraplanar entity who guides, protects, and when necessary, invades the bodies of the living and the dead. They are the calm at the end of life's storm, and have taken both many heroes and villains to their final resting place. They are a wizard. They are a spirit. They are Remiel the Shepherd. Their opponent is a melancholic seer who wields the stuff of shadows as well as prophecy to protect herself and her allies from the throngs of fate. Despite the loss of her eyes, she has seen the flaws in the designs of both Denny powers and godheads alike, and uses them to hasten the doom they brought upon themselves. She is a wizard. She is a half-elf. She is Gwendolyn Vawa, the Mornseer.
Gwen is a really strong spellcaster with solid defense and mobility. But Remiel's invisibility, decoy, and agility make them really difficult to hit. Remiel's possession-based debuffs allow them to bypass Gwen's strongest defenses. While Remiel lacks firepower, they are able to use Gwen's own strength against her by taking over from within. This leaves Remiel as the victor of this round. Oh, that's nice.
For our next fight, the first contestant is a minstrel of little worry and much mirth, who walks where the wind carries him, always has in hand whatever it is he needs, and whose enemies find themselves flung into the skies, sunk beneath the earth, or decide to become his friend instead. With a song in his heart and a fallen star in his belly, he washed away the evil and ancient witch Magdalena in the light and dancing breeze. He is a bard. He is an elf. He is Coral Silverleaf, the man with the lute. His opponent is a storm-tossed child who is filled with the bursting and unpredictable might of the Arkenstrom. Able to utilize its dangerous currents, he has brought giants that would call him weak to their knees. He is a wizard. He is an Axo. He is Cinchi Silverleaf, the Storm Spawn.
This match is crazy because Coral is technically Cinchi's stepdad.
You're not my dad!
So yeah, Cinchi may be little, but he has powerful magical capabilities and solid defenses. However, his low armor and poor mobility, look at those cute little legs, leave him vulnerable to Coral's multi-attacks and critical success potential. Coral has the wonderful ability to roll every action at advantage. Oh, and he has another ability that makes every roll he makes a natural 20. He's rolling 2 natural 20s per action. Even though Cinchi can throw out some really heavy magical attacks, Coral can dodge it just as easily. So, with that being said, Coral is able to claim victory by hitting hard, often, and dodging, all without breaking a sweat. And I think it goes without saying that he never stopped playing his lute.
For our next fight, the first contestant is a fiery-tempered pirate queen who is both known for her great beauty as well as her prowess in sailing her skybound ship, the Kraken Guard. Armed with both saber and pistol, she slew many evil men, but none so terrible as the apocalypse-bringing Adam.
Adam!
She is a gunner. She is a Newman. She is Isabella Kirkano, the Red Queen. Her opponent is a soaring knight of the old kingdom of Uniterra, whose armor, swordsmanship, and dedication to her allies know no flaw. She has faced countless threats in her defense of her country, even the leaders who broke their promises to uphold it. She is a knight. She is a Newman. She is Sky Mir, the Redeemed.
Sky is a durable, mobile knight, but she suffers from low range, a fatal flaw against Isabella's multi-attacking defense-shredding gunplay. While Sky has an insane amount of armor, Isabella's anti-magic debuffs can cripple her defensive potential. Isabella's health-draining swordplay help her weather Sky's melee assaults long enough to stay in control. While Sky can also heal herself, it simply isn't enough when she's getting bombarded by gunfire and having her strength sapped constantly. This ultimately leaves Isabella as the winner of this match. She's pretty cool. And that is the end of round 1. Are you angry yet? Remember, if you disagree with me, don't. Besides, we're just getting started. Now, it's time for round 2. Cannoli versus Lilia. Cannoli may be a clever shapeshifter with debuffs and a powerful dragon form, but his low offense and defense leave him struggling to land a decisive blow. Lilia, with high initiative and mobility, automatically succeeds on ranged defenses, allowing her to retaliate with further attacks every time she's targeted at range. That's a powerful ability. Even if Cannoli transforms into a dragon, Lilia can just stay out of melee reach and continue to pepper him with high damage multi-attack arrows. His claws can't land if they can't reach, and if he's forced into range, she can just hit him more. Lilia wins this match by outpacing, outlasting, and outgunning her opponent. She can just keep shooting and shooting. Like, does she ever run out of arrows? Louie versus Vex. Now, this match is insane, and it all hinges on one thing: initiative. Vex is an impossible foe. She has high magical power, a magical staff that does a truly ridiculous amount of damage, and a clone of herself to multiply both of those things by 2. And Louie undoes it all by going first. Louie has an ability to create a zone of anti-magic that renders enemy magical items and abilities useless within a certain area. Vex is able to leave that area, but she has to use her whole turn to leave it. But wait, doesn't Vex get 2 actions? Yeah, she does, but so does Louie. From there, Louie has several options. He could just kill them both with that one special ability, control their minds and force them to kill each other, or focus on controlling one, then becoming an unhittable swarm of butterflies. Yeah, he can do that too. And just wait till one is dead, then kill the remaining one. This fight would probably go entirely different had he gone second, but he doesn't. His initiative is higher. Louie wins this match by acting first, making the first move the only one that matters. This is getting tense. Wakua versus Echo. Oh boy. Wakua boasts impossibly high defenses, with his ability to negate any damage that doesn't knock him out completely for a minute. Even if he is knocked out, he returns to full health and the regeneration ends. Even then, he has one last knockdown prevention ability tucked away. But none of that matters, because Echo can keep the distance between them with ease and put high modifiers on all of her attacks, damage, and defenses for an hour. Wakua's insane survivability means nothing if he can't ever land a hit. Even if he were able to close the gap, he could never actually do damage. Even if Echo could not whittle him down over the course of that minute, she could just wait him out and gun him down after. Echo wins this match by turning the battlefield into a one-sided arena of attrition and control. Sorry. Remiel versus Marith. This fight is a little tricky because both Marith and Remiel have a bunch of the same tactics, specifically mobility and invisibility. The only difference is that Remiel can split into 2. Even if Marith plays it super safe and only goes invisible after every attack, Remiel has a decoy body which negates the damage from one attack. Both Remiels can then simply guess her position, each covering a long range, and stunlock her with a terrifying gaze, which actually doesn't even require Remiel to see Marith, but for her to see them. So, her invisibility does nothing. After that, it just takes one Remiel to teleport them both next to Marith and the other to possess her, and she's finished with a quick suicide. It's messy, and it's close, but it works. That leaves Remiel as the victor of this match. Remiel is literally just making everyone kill themselves. It's not funny. John versus Lyrica. John is a high-powered berserker, werebear, with massive health, mobility, and multi-attacks. But his low magic resistance make him pretty vulnerable to Lyrica's specialty, enthrallment and stall tactics. Before John can unleash his rage, Lyrica ensnares his mind, locking him in magical hesitation. If John was paired against anyone aside from Lyrica, he might have done alright, but he got paired against Lyrica, and she wins by stalling. All she has to do is enthrall John into inaction while her familiar Lottie tears him apart. It's slow, but effective. Ultimately, Lyrica wins this match by using her specialty, enthrall and stall. A win is a win, I guess. Coral versus Isabella. Isabella is undoubtedly a powerhouse with multi-attacks, health drain, and anti-magic debuffs, but ultimately, none of it matters when she can't land a hit. Coral's unique ability to always land critical successes on attacks, defense, and mobility means he never misses, never gets hit, and never slows down. Even Isabella's strong defenses and draining firepower are useless against an opponent who dodges every bullet. This fight ends for the same reason as the last. Coral can't be hit, he can't miss, and he deals massive damage. Simple as that. And that's the end of round 2. How are we feeling? Do you have any questions? Well, that's too bad. There's no time to answer any because now it's time for round 3. Okay. Since the tournament bracket looks like this, let me fill it in. Due to the number of contestants, we have a bit of an issue here, meaning 2 contestants, congrats Lilia and Echo, get a free win and automatically advance to the semifinals. Sorry, I honestly really didn't know how to fix this, but we can watch them do something cool real quick. Perfect, congratulations, moving on. Louie versus Lyrica. This one is honestly so exciting because Louie is technically Lyrica's grandpa. Well, great-grandpa, but honestly, who's counting? Lyrica is an expert at using summons, stuns, and healing to stall and wear down her opponents, but against Louie, it's an entirely different story. His instant kill ability ignores range, barriers, and even a poor initiative roll. Even if Lyrica outsped Louie and managed to enthrall him, which is, by the way, an ability she inherited from her good old granddad, one wake-up touch from one of his own summons, and Lyrica would go down with an instant kill. Her defenses aren't strong enough, and her control isn't fast enough to stop what's coming. Everything that Lyrica is, Louie is that, like, times 100. Louie wins this match with a ruthless inevitability, initiative or not. We're also just ignoring the fact that Lyrica sold her soul to Louie, so I doubt she stood a chance to begin with. Coral versus Remiel. Remiel is a cunning spirit with possession, high mobility, and evasive tricks like invisibility and decoys. But against Coral, that just isn't enough. Coral, like I've been saying for all of his fights, always lands critical hits, always dodges, and always acts with perfect efficiency. Remiel's stalling tactics and control rely on exploiting weakness, but Coral appears to have none. His attacks cut through decoys, his movement outpaces evasion, and his defense nullifies any threat before it lands. Coral wins this match for the same reason he has won all of his other matches. He is an absolute powerhouse. Surely someone is going to shut this down at some point. And that's the end of round 3. Kind of a short one, but it's not my fault the tournament bracket looks like this, I think. I'm seeing some recurring trends here, but let's just take a moment to refill our glasses because it's time for round 4, the semifinals. Lilia versus Echo. Both Lilia and Echo have the same vibe. Both are mentally unstable, highly mobile, and hard-hitting ranged attackers. But while Lilia's auto success on ranged defenses make her nearly untouchable for a minute, Echo's massive modifiers last for an hour, and that's the key difference. Echo simply waits out Lilia's defensive window until she's vulnerable, and strikes with precise, overwhelming force. Lilia can't land a hit on Echo during this time, and once her edge fades, Echo just ends the fight on her own terms. This leaves Echo as the victor of this match, securing her place in the finals. Look, I know Echo's a bit much, I'm sorry. Coral versus Louie. Louie has instant kill abilities, mind control, and guaranteed hit mechanics, but it's Coral. And honestly, this match could have gone so differently if it was in another setting. But here we are in this boring arena. As if Coral never missing and never getting hit were not enough, he also always goes first. And that's what ruins Louis. Louis' ability to always hit doesn't matter when Coral could knock him out like everyone else in the very first turn. This leaves Coral as the victor of this round, landing him a spot in the finals. Coral is, well, Coral. Oh my. Finally, we reach the end. Can we get some fanfare or something? Okay, perfect, nice. Okay, this is so exciting. I know. I feel like everyone suspects where this is going, but hear me out. We are not done yet, and this final round might be the craziest one yet. Yeah, at long last, it's time for the finale. Coral versus Echo, the finale. This matchup is very interesting because it's against two insanely powerful characters, as we have already seen. Echo brings unmatched modifiers, relentless mobility, and devastating multi-attacks. Against anyone else, she dominates through sheer tactical pressure. But Coral is no ordinary foe. Every move he makes is a critical success, and he gets 2 rolls for each one. Echo's modifiers are so high, she's capable of doing something no one else so far has been able to do. She can actually damage Coral. How? Her modifiers are plus 21, meaning she will roll well over Coral's natural 20 on both attacks and defense. However, he is rolling a natural 20, so I think the only fair thing to do is allow both sides to deal damage, but halved on both sides. This ups the stakes, and neither are immune to damage and are at serious risk of each other. Even in a battle where the damage is halved on both sides, Coral's base output is so high, 170 per turn, reduced to 85. Yes, I really did my research for this, and I'm about to do more math, that it still overwhelms Echo's defenses. Her insane buffs let her actually damage Coral. 29 base plus 21 max modifiers equal 50 damage. But wait, what if she utilizes her double? We doubled the damage, leading to 100, reduced back down to 50. In short, she can damage Coral, but she can't do it fast enough. Coral's consistency, his flawless rolls, and his unshakable precision make him prepared for anything, even Echo's insane modifiers. Coral, the man with the loot, wins this match and claims the title of champion, proving that perfection outlasts even overwhelming power, and calling out James for his min-maxing to the extreme. And this has been the Contest of Champions. Wow, we did it. Thank you for making it to the end. I decided to do this on a whim, and it absolutely dominated my life for a few months. It's really hard to get stuff done when I'm also juggling this professional interrupter now. So, what did you think? Was it worth the effort? Any big feelings? I'm sure there are. As we prepare to get started on the new world, I'm certain our newest characters will be even more insane, so we have that to look forward to. Maybe I'll do another one of these in the future. Who knows? I guess we're just gonna have to wait and find out. Until next time.